And Bonds hits one high. Hits it deep. It is out of here. 7:56. Bonds stands alone.
Now Booker with Tucker on him. Throws it up for 8. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Taproom Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan. Stacks on Stacks Lats. Joined with my guys, like every Sunday night, Mr. Big Ball and Ben Larson.
Sure.
And Irv's seen better days, but Irv is...
humbug. Shut the fuck up. Here. Shit.
Hey, man. You could join my team in the gutter, so I'm happy to have someone along with the ride.
Hey, just be glad you're not a Dallas fan.
I mean, it could be worse, for sure. I mean, maybe not. That was pretty bad.
That was pretty bad.
We're gonna talk about his Denver Broncos later. We're gonna run down every game. Obviously, there's games where we have more to talk about than others. A wild day of NFL football, though, just absolute insanity. Two teams on the road, big dogs, Colts and Texans win outright. So we're gonna get to that. Before we do that, make sure to go to download Sharps app, SHARPZ. Track your bets, become better bettors by tracking your bets. You can follow other bettors that get hot, tail their bets, fade their bets, whatever it may be. Download Sharps. Use promo code JORD517. Lock it in. It's free. So there you go.
Even better.
And Ben, what are you sipping on tonight? You sipping on anything?
Yeah, so I'm just doing this is a go-to, for me. This is the Cerveza by 805.
Oh, I like that one.
Drinking out of the bottle too. I didn't even grab a glass, but it's still good out of a bottle. Great summer beer.
As we're in fall now.
I know. It was a nice day. Had a barbecue today
Nice.
for the game, so that's why I'm drinking my barbecue beer, and that's also why I didn't go out and get an actual beer for tonight. So Tuesday I'll have something special.
Yeah, I didn't get a special beer for tonight either. I was watching football and then took Paige to the park, so
There we go.
doing all that fun stuff. I'm just sipping on a regular Lagunitas, which I usually keep in the fridge at all times. So nothing special tonight. This day didn't deserve it.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday we'll do something else. But man, what a day of football, and we're gonna start it off talking about Sunday Night Football. Just a fucking absolute dog shit game. Two dog shit teams. Just a lot of comical errors in that game. The Raiders they closed 3-point favorites. The total was 44, so Pittsburgh won 23-18. The total went under. Pittsburgh covers, wins outright as a dog on the road, although they were basically a home game for them, as most of the stadium was Pittsburgh fans. But the biggest thing about this game is Raiders are down 8 with about 2 minutes and 20 seconds left, and it's 4th down at 4, and they're driving, and Josh McDaniels decides to kick a field goal
From the 8-yard line
to go within 5 instead of 8. So he made it a one-possession game, and there was no guarantee he was getting the ball back. And his master plan worked. He got the ball back with 12 seconds at his own 10-yard line.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's your guys' thoughts on this game and kind of like the state of either of these teams right now?
Just all around bad coaching for the Raiders. You can't even blame the players. Fought their heart out, they battled back, got back in the game, and the coaching did haven't seen a decision like that in forever. So yeah, that was pretty bad. But Jimmy G, 2 turnovers, 2 costly turnovers.
3
Oh, he had 3. I thought he had 2 picks. He had a
3
fumble.
interceptions.
Well, the one don't count. Well, at the end, I wouldn't
Well,
really.
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That one.
that was just throwing it up.
Yeah, they would have had 2 seconds left to at what, the 50 there.
Nah, they were at like the 30, dude.
30,
they had no shot.
I'll chalk that one up as trying to make a play, but
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's the Raiders, like they start off good and then just the second half is just not the same. Kind of remind me of the John Gruden days. They come out first half, they on fire, they end the game, and then the second half is just not good. Because the Steelers didn't do anything spectacular. They just played their game, ran the ball, ran normal offense, and leaned on their defense, which the Steelers been doing for ages. But
the Raiders also couldn't get off the field on third down. I think
Kenny Pickett did make a couple good plays with his legs on third down and some nice throws. But
what was their third down stats? They were like, oh shit, I don't see it right here. But man, they were like, dude, they must have been like 80% on third down.
Yeah, it was pretty eye opening. I'll look it up right now. But
third down, they were 4 for 13.
The Steelers?
Oh, Steelers 6
for
for
15. 6 for 15. But I think in the second half they converted all their third downs.
Yeah, I felt like every fucking third down, dude, they were getting off the field. And also the Raiders had some costly penalties on third down too, which fucking extended drives as well. But I mean, that's things that goes on coaching, right? Like those are things that just can't happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think you can say that they had a good start to this game either, because you're looking at first half, you've got 5 punts and an interception and a touchdown. And 3 of those were 3-and-outs. 3 of those punts were 3-and-outs.
Yeah, I mean they went up 7-0, and it was a nice play call, and like they had momentum going right, and then very next drive they get Pittsburgh in 3rd and long, and Pittsburgh hits a big play for a touchdown.
Huge play, yeah.
And that kind of set the tone for the entire game. It was kind of like you could just feel the air taken out, right? And then Pittsburgh goes on to score 23 unanswered, and the Raiders they battle back, like Irv said, in the second half, and then you have a chance to tie the game and force overtime, or try and force overtime, or maybe even get the ball back, which know McDaniels planned on, and you kick a fucking field goal, dude. Like that's a fireable offense in my opinion.
Well, and what's even going to say that you're going to get close enough for even a touchdown?
Exactly. There's no guarantee you were going to get the ball back. There's zero guarantee we're going to get the ball back.
It made no sense. You go on a play, like they ran on that 2-point conversion where that, their tight end was wide the fuck open.
Yep.
And you turn back to that, which was successful, not 2 minutes in game time, prior to that. I think you got to get Josh Jacobs the ball even more than they did. I think he had 63 yards carries. On.
But the thing is like all those yards came when they were like down. So Pittsburgh was playing the pass. Like that's the other thing about the Raiders right now is like they haven't been able to run the ball. Against Buffalo, they were -2 yards rushing. Mm-hmm. Like they have not been able to establish the run, and that's kind of what hurt them in the first half was they couldn't establish the run, and then Pittsburgh just pinned their ears back, knowing that they were going to have to pass every fucking down.
Yep.
And Jimmy G, he got hit a couple times. You could see like he started to get scared because that second interception, there was no one even near him, dude. He had all day to fucking throw the ball, and he just like threw it up, dude. Like he was just scared. He was afraid he was gonna get hit. Yeah, and that's the kind of shit that Derek Carr did.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Which is why they had to move on from Derek Carr, and here they are in the same fucking position with a different quarterback, one that's known for winning ball games. That's what he's done, right? But now, we're kind of looking at it. And Irv, you and I talked about it before the season started. We were like, man, the Raiders are going to be good enough to win like 8 or 9 games with Jimmy G. Like, that's just what they're going to do. But now I'm like looking at this and I'm like, damn, dude, maybe the Niners were the reason why Jimmy was good, because Brock Purdy's out there being average and fucking doing the same thing, dude.
Well, if it's that offensive line and it's the weapons that the Niners had that you don't have. I mean, look at Devontae Adams today, 13 receptions for 172 yards. That was basically his only target. Well, Jacoby Myers, I guess, had a good day too. But that is,
Yeah, but once they start losing, I think he just keyed in on Devontae.
yeah,
I don't think he was really looking at anybody else.
Devontae's also always wide open too.
Yeah, that's true too. But because if you look at his first game against Denver, he was spreading the ball around. These last two games, I don't know what the hell he's been doing, but
yeah.
I don't think he knows what he's been doing.
Complain, but I love seeing the Raiders being dog shit. But my team is 0-3, so whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to them sooner. But yeah, I mean, I think this game, like my only takeaway is I played the Raiders tonight. I'll be straight up. And the reason why I did was because I felt like Pittsburgh hadn't been able to move the ball all year against anyone they played. And I know they played Cleveland, which is a good defense, and I know they played the Niners, which is a good defense. But the offense didn't win this game here, right? And I thought it was a good buy low spot on the Raiders. Like, they're coming off getting blown out by the Bills. They come back home. Like, I thought it was a get right spot. But now I'm a little bit down on the Raiders. Obviously I was a little too high on them probably. So I'm gonna have to readjust that in my thought process for games. But yeah, man, just an awful showing by the Raiders. And if I was Mark Davis, dude, Josh McDaniels would be fired. Like, he wouldn't even make it out the building with a job. It's inexcusable what he did tonight. Absolutely inexcusable. You're basically telling the fan base and your own team, dude, that you don't care about winning a ball game.
I think next week is the big week for McDaniels because they're playing the Chargers, and a division rival. Both teams are 1-2.
Raiders at home or on the road don't matter. They're at home or on the road.
They're on the road. It's in LA.
Okay,
Basically
so
a home game.
So they'll have the home foot advantage and probably still lose.
Yeah. So I think that's where his literal job is on the line for this game. If they win, he stays. If they lose, he goes. I think that's next week for it.
Okay, so if we had to give out odds on coaches to get fired first, who would you say gets fired first? Matt Eberflus or Josh McDaniels?
Josh McDaniels.
Who's Eberflus's? Vikings? Bears. Oh, ooh.
He was handpicked by the GM though, so he might have a longer leash.
Yeah. And he could use the excuse that they didn't draft Justin Fields, and Justin Fields isn't their guy, and all that kind of stuff too. So
he'll go.
But I think he's lost that locker room though.
I think it's the Bears coach.
But
all right. That's enough talking about the Raiders.
Broncos. That hug that Fields and him did was such bullshit too.
I'm starting it off with this.
We just got our ass.
The whole game, not the second game.
Dude, offensively, we couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete it. We sucked. The second half, we sucked. We couldn't stop the run. Every time they got the ball, they went down and got points. We got our ass totally kicked in the second half. That's what it boiled down to. It was a
horseshit performance. Horseshit.
I'm totally embarrassed and totally ashamed. Coaching, coaching did a horrible job. The players did a horrible job.
Who is that?
We got our ass kicked in the second half.
Jim Morrison.
Okay, I was gonna say that sounds like Jim Moore.
Yeah.
Sean Payton he was answering questions in his press conference. He was a little fired up.
He definitely was.
Yeah, my guy was pissed off. Like, all my years being a Bronco fan, I've seen that 58-10 loss to the Raiders. I've seen us get our asses handed to us by the Colts back-to-back years in the playoffs. But I didn't watch it down to this game. I looked at that box score. I knew it was going to be bad because we was missing basically our entire secondary, 2 starting linebackers, and I think another defensive end. But I would never expect a fucking NFL team to give up 70 points.
70 points, dude.
And it should have been even more.
And they could have scored another touchdown or 2 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniels called off the dogs.
Yeah.
I've never seen no shit like this. This is my second lowest point as a Bronco fan. We all know what the first is. 43-8, fuck the Seahawks. But yeah, this was horrible, man. But glass half full, glass half empty, nowhere to go but up. because this is definitely rock bottom. And
Us-
you can't even. And the crazy part is you can't even blame Russell Wilson. You can't blame the offense. We just got our asses totally kicked today.
Well, yeah. Anytime you give up 70, dude, it's like it's tough to blame the offense. But I mean, the offense wasn't good, and they didn't really score any touchdowns. I mean, one of their touchdowns was a punt return or a kick return.
Yeah.
Put this up.
Hey, Tua might win MVP this year, man.
That was fucking
He's got
23 and 26.
he's got to stay healthy, but yeah, man, that was an absolute ass kicking, and obviously there's a lot of people I know that were on the Broncos +6 today. The total was 47. Obviously that went way over, but I mean, yeah, dude, I did not see that coming at all. That was just insane.
I told AK he was on the wrong side of that one, but
Yeah, I mean that's one of
but
those.
we never would have thought it would have been a fucking 50-point game. Let's be real.
I mean, AK wasn't the only person I
no.
know on the Broncos. There's a lot of people on the Broncos that I truly respect in the handicapping world, and
Yep.
you know, I didn't play the Broncos because I was scared of something like this. I mean, not this. I didn't think this was gonna happen, but I did think there was a good chance at Miami. And you know, I always say, dude, West Coast teams or West teams that go to the Miami, they almost always lose, dude.
Yep.
Like every time.
It was 100 degrees out there in the sun.
Yeah, and they had the Broncos wearing their their dark jerseys, dude. Like, yeah, bro, that was that had to have been no fun for the fucking Denver Broncos. But man,
who's this Devon? What is it? A Kane?
Kane, yeah,
Is he a rookie?
he's a hell of a fucking running back, man.
Like, holy shit, this guy is just fucking fast.
And
Like,
yeah, he
I want to
is
see him and Tyreek go up against each other, and Tyreek probably still wins that, but it's close.
Yeah, and I mean Miami's for real, dude. They're definitely in the
Yeah.
driver's seat for that fucking division at this point. As far as the Broncos go, Irv, I mean, what do you think is? I mean, I know you say that the only way to go is up, but I mean, what's the outlook on the season looking like from here on out? Do you think the team is like giving up on Sean Payton at this point?
No, I don't think they're giving up on Sean Payton. It's just our first two losses were very preventable. This game, we just came out and got our asses kicked. So there's only two ways to respond to this. You go out there, you improve and start winning games, or you continue to fucking suck. Because the first couple games, the offense put up points, the defense couldn't stop nobody. Well, the Raiders game was pretty much like a defensive battle. But the Commanders game, no way we should have lost that game. We was up 21-3. And this game, we just got our ass kicked. So we play the Bears next week. We lose that game, we might not win the game.
I was just about to say, like, there is some light at the end of the tunnel here, is that you'll probably be 1-3 at the end of next week, because the Bears fucking stink.
Yeah, that's
Denver at least has some bright spots there, but
so let's move over
watching that Bears game. Whew.
Let's move over to that game. So the Chiefs closed 13-point favorites. They cover, win 41-10. The total was 48, goes over. You know, one thing that I don't think needs to be said is Taylor Swift was in attendance. You know, the media made it very clear all fucking day. That's all they fucking talked about. What was your guys' thoughts on this game? Because from my perspective, dude, I mean, I thought the Bears were going to be dog shit this year anyways. I didn't think they were going to be any good. But, like, bro, this team fucking sucks, dude. And they suck at every phase of the game. And, like, I don't think Justin Fields is that guy. But at the same time, it's, like, it's hella tough to judge him because everything around him is just so fucking trash, dude. Like, I don't know how to evaluate this team. And I think that this is a team where they hire Ryan Pace, right? He hires Matt Eberflus, and then, you know, they get Justin Fields from the previous regime. And so, like, I feel like it's going to be tough for Chicago to move on from this regime, the GM, Ryan Pace and Matt Eberflus, because they have that excuse, well, like, we don't have our guy. You know what I mean? But to be honest, dude, I think they should reset again.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to reset. They're going to have a great draft pick this upcoming year.
And they got the Panthers pick too.
Yeah. So I mean, you've brought in, I think, other than a legit running back, you've brought in help for Fields in DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, Claypool, Darnell Mooney.
Their
You just
offensive
need
line
to.
still sucks, though.
What's that?
Their offensive line still sucks.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But maybe that's what you get. You get a new QB. Hope it's number one. So you get Caleb, and then with that second pick, you pick up the top offensive lineman to really bolster that and hope
I think the only way Ryan Pace and Eberflus keep their jobs is by going to ownership and like basically saying what I said. Like, we don't have our guy, so this year we're gonna draft our guy. We're gonna draft our quarterback and then like build around him and build in the trenches and stuff. I think it's the only way they can keep their job, to be honest. Because I mean, they haven't been competitive at all in any fucking game.
But that's basically telling ownerships that you're losing out. But that you're not even gonna try to.
But the thing is that they didn't draft Justin Fields.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, they have that excuse when the owners come down and the executives come down and they're like, hey, like, what's going on? They can turn their hats and be like, this isn't our guy. We didn't draft him. You know what I mean? Like, we tried to make it work. It's not working. So now we need to go our direction. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of the excuse that Josh McDaniels had, right? Last year. We didn't draft Derek Carr. We inherited Derek Carr. We inherited this team, basically. You wanted us to go out and trade for Devontae Adams. We did. And then, they sucked. And then this year you see all these changes and they still suck. So that's why that's why I think McDaniels has more of a reason to be fired than anyone, because he doesn't have an excuse. Like, bro, you went out and got your quarterback, Jimmy G. You know what I mean? Like, at least Eberflus and Ryan Pace, they have the excuse. We didn't draft Fields. This isn't our guy. So
yeah, it has to be interesting to see what's going on in that locker room, because if he really has lost the locker room, then that's big reason for firing. I don't think
it's a mess, dude. The defensive coordinator resigns.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. I don't think Vegas's locker room is a mess. So that's why I think Chicago, because if he has lost that whole team, it doesn't matter who his QB is going to be. His other 3 or 4 draft picks are going to be. Yeah. Everybody who's on that team isn't going to trust him, isn't going to want to move forward and play for him. So
yeah, I agree.
It's not pretty.
What do you think about the Bears, Irv?
Like you said, it's hard to judge Fields and everything else around him is terrible. Well, if you can't judge the QB, who's next to go? The GM, the coach, everyone around him. And I don't know where the hell they hired that OC, but that dude was terrible.
Well, that's the thing, is the coaches are gonna be like, this ain't our guy, dude. So they're gonna move on.
Well, he's still on a rookie deal. So if they are able to draft a Caleb Williams, then you got to choose between Caleb and Justin Fields, which most people will probably choose Caleb because he's touted and looks like a generational prospect. But we'll see. They got some tough decisions to make, man, because if they move on from Justin Fields, that buys that new regime probably, another year or two before their asses is out?
Yep.
So if they do move on from Justin Fields, get a number 1, number 2, number 3 pick, and able to draft one of those top QBs, that QB got to have success, like, right away.
Yeah. But, I mean, with all the picks they have, too, it'll probably be easier to build around. You know what I mean? Because they have a lot of draft picks.
Yeah, they do got a lot of draft picks. Now, that's going to be the decision they're going to have to make. Are they going to be sorry enough to get a Drake May or Caleb Williams? I got to look who else is up there, but Michael Penix, which I think he's a great college quarterback. I don't know if he's going to be a great pro.
I agree with that.
He's been in college this long for a reason, and I'll leave it at that. We're going to see. It's going to be real interesting because the Bears only win 1 or 2 games again. You see what the Cardinals did when they had Josh Rosen, they had a chance to get Kyler, so it could be another situation like that.
Yep, I agree. And I mean, I think there's a team that will go out and trade for Justin Fields and like take a shot on him with like a 4th or 5th round pick. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe new pastures is what he needs. You know what I mean? Maybe he needs a whole new, just a refresh. You know what I mean? Because like the
He
Bears
needs to be
situation,
running an offense like Lamar Jackson, like Richardson. What's his name? I can't think of his first name. Fuck.
Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
That's the type of offense he should be in, not this bullshit the Bears trotting out.
my only pushback to that is like when Fields was coming out, he was known as like a pocket quarterback. Like that was his strength, was that he was a good pocket passer.
He was a pocket quarterback with a good O-line and capable weapons. He doesn't have neither one of those in the NFL. So,
well, he has DJ Moore.
Unless you're, well, he has DJ Moore. That's it. But what else does he have?
He definitely doesn't have a good offensive line. I'll give him that.
And their best offensive lineman is a rookie. He was out today, and it clearly showed.
Yeah, no, their offensive line is fucking terrible.
But what trade value does he really have, though?
Oh, someone will take a shot.
He's gonna have the same trade value as a Trey Lance. He's 3rd, 4th, maybe 5th round pick if they choose to trade him. Yep. But from the outside looking in, if they're seeing what we're seeing, and they're in position to draft a quarterback, they're probably going to draft a quarterback and ship him out the same way the Niners just did with Trey Lance. We thought he was the guy, he wasn't. We're going to move on and try to build this thing up again. But honestly, that just gives the coach and the GM, if they do go that route, that gives them another year or two max, maybe another year, honestly.
Yep.
And I really only see one place where he'd be a potential starter, and that's just for this year, and that's with the Jets.
Yeah, but I think the Vikings move on from Kirk Cousins after this year, especially the way their season's going. I don't think they're gonna want to pay him that kind of
Viking.
Yeah, but they won't.
He could be an Atlanta Falcon.
Yeah, the Falcons, dude. Fucking
Falcons.
Ritter ain't it. The Bucks might take a shot.
The Cardinals looking like they might not even get a top 10 pick, so they might be interested. They'll stick with Kyler.
Yeah, they'll stick with Kyler.
But yeah, it's like 4. It's gonna hit. He can 4 or 5 landing spots. Derek Carr.
Oh yeah,
he's only on a 3-year deal.
The Raiders,
yeah, they only signed Jimmy G to 2 years, 3 years. I think it was only the 1st year guaranteed or 2nd year or something like that. So it's gonna be options for him because he's gonna have value no matter what. He's a young QB, talented, and everybody's gonna think they can bring him in and change his fortune. So
yep, agreed. All right, let's move on to the next game. We had the Cowboys at the Cardinals. The Cowboys closed 11-point favorites. The total was 43.5. The Cardinals went outright 28-16. The total goes over. Cardinals obviously cover. When is a dog outright? You know, a lot of talk coming into this week was that Dallas was probably the best team in the NFL. A lot of people were saying, and they go out there and, I mean, they could not stop Arizona at all, dude.
Josh Dobbs looked like fucking.
The Cardinals punted one time in the entire
Josh Dobbs looked like Steve McNair today in his prime.
Yeah, he looked good, bro. They rushed the ball for fucking how many yards? 222 yards rushing, bro.
Yep.
Yes.
Like you can't win you cannot win a football game allowing 222 yards on the ground.
Yeah.
And my thing with the Cowboys going forward is like, how are they going to compete with the Niners if they can't even stop the Cardinals on the ground?
Yeah, that Diggs injury has a huge effect on that defense. But not being able to stop the run, I think this was just more of them overlooking their opponent, which we know NFL teams shouldn't do that because they're all professionals, all getting paid millions, and they're going to show up and compete every damn Sunday. And this is clearly the Cowboys looking ahead to their next opponent and thinking they was going to sleepwalk through a game and beat this team.
But that's the Patriots too, though. That's not the Patriots played a little bit better today, but that's not a big game.
I know, but still, they're playing the Cardinals. This team was touted to win 3 games, 4 games max.
Yeah, and the one thing,
and honestly, if it wasn't for a bunch of some bonehead plays, the Cardinals could be undefeated right now.
Dude, I was gonna say they could very well be 3-0 right now, dude.
So, and we can't count out that they've been competing, and they should have won all 3 of their games. Well, they won today, but they should have won the previous 2 games too.
Yep.
So the Cardinals ain't as sorry as we thought they was gonna be, and their head coach got them playing ball.
Jonathan Gannon, man, hell of a fucking hire, and like, you know, a lot of people mocked the Cardinals for hiring him, and I was one of them, dude. I didn't like the hire when it first happened. I questioned it because his defense got fucking annihilated in the Super Bowl, and I'm sitting here like, dude, how are you gonna hire a dude that just gave up fucking like 600 yards of offense in the Super Bowl, whatever? And then I come to find out Vic Fangio was like the mastermind behind the defense too. He was just calling the plays basically. But I mean, dude, like this guy, like the dude's play for him. I don't know what like he got guys to buy in. I think trading Isaiah Simmons was massive. You know what I mean? Because that shows like, hey, we ain't gonna put up with no bullshit, dude. Like either you buy in or you're gone. We don't care how high you were drafted, dude. And I don't know, man. I'm excited for Cardinals football, man. Jonathan Gannon got me fired up. Every week, Irv, like you said, they could very well be 3-0 right now, and like, dude, they just play hard, dude. Like, they're not a good team, they're not that talented, but they fucking play hard. And Paris Johnson, that signing or that draft pick of Paris Johnson, that might have been the best Cardinals draft pick aside from Kyler Murray in my lifetime, dude. And Larry Fitzgerald
Larry Fitzgerald, Anquan Bolden. Y'all have some decent picks, Adrian Wilson, but yeah, Paris Johnson is definitely looking like a premier tackle in the NFL so far. Dude's a fucking stonewall at that right tackle position.
Because the thing I'm like noticing
sooner than later, he's gonna move to left tackle though.
Yeah, as soon as DJ Humphrey's gone. But the one thing I'm noticing in the NFL is that like there's such bad line play, dude. Like so many offensive lines are bad, and like the Cardinals actually have a good offensive line, which is like
crazy.
Another
thing with the offensive line too, you gotta recognize it's going 9 times out of 10 it's the coaching, the technique, and injuries.
Yeah, health is a big part.
When you get hurt on your O-line, it hurts bad. Look at the Cowboys today. Yep. The fucking Cardinals pass rush ate that O-line alive, and they were missing 3 linemen.
Yep. Zach Martin,
Tyron Smith, and the other guard.
Tyron Smith hasn't really played all year though.
The center was out.
Oh yeah, he was. But the Zach Martin one's huge.
Yeah, that's a Hall of Famer right there.
So is Tyron Smith, but
yeah,
Tyron Smith hasn't been the same the last couple of years. He's getting older.
Yeah, too many injuries. The injuries is piled up. He's not the top 2-3 All-Pro year in year out tackle that he used to be, and it's due to injuries. And mostly it's the back injuries that's really stifled his athleticism.
And when you're that big, dude, when the back goes out,
yeah,
all bad. What do you think about that game, Ben?
I mean, it was definitely surprising. I was on the other side. I thought Dallas was going to come in and mollywop even with Diggs out, but you know, it was like you said, they're all fight right now, and you know, it's going to be interesting to see if San Francisco overlooks them, or at least now things have probably changed because Dallas overlooked Arizona.
Nah, they won't overlook Arizona. It's still a division game.
Yeah, well, and San Francisco is going to see that and be like, oh no, we really got to.
But the Cardinals do always play the Niners hella tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even when the Cardinals are like absolute fucking dog shit, they play the fucking Niners tough.
Yeah. So I mean, it was an all around good game offensively and defensively for Arizona, and you know, I think I messaged you guys like, are they going to get the call at halftime to stop fucking playing? You know, they were up 21-10 at that point, but
that was a weird thing. Like last week, dude, like, bro, it was a tale of two halves. Like the first half, the Cardinals were so fucking good, dude, and then the second half, it was like they stopped playing defense, dude, and it was just weird. It was like, why the fuck did the flip just like the switch just totally flip? Yeah. You know, and I mean,
they still only scored 7 points in the second half. So offensively, they weren't as dynamic as the first, but they at time and possession in the second half must have been majorly sided to Arizona.
This week?
Yeah.
Well, also the Cowboys had like 5 red zone trips and only got 6 points.
Yeah.
So that was huge too. They had a turnover on downs, and then they had a interception in the end zone, and then they only got field goals out aside from that. So that was huge. Shout out Jonathan Gannon though, man. What a dude. All right, let's move over to the next game. We got the Carolina Panthers at the Seahawks. Seahawks closed 4.5-point favorites. The total was 43.5. The game went way over, and the Seahawks cover, winning 37-27. The Panthers had just a ton of fucking penalties, dude. 13 penalties for 82 yards, and 6 of them were false start penalties in the fourth quarter.
Yikes.
They had 3 false starts in a row at one point. What's your guys' thoughts on this game?
Andy Dalton looks better back there than than we've seen in the previous 2 weeks. So it wouldn't be surprised if we see Dalton out there for another couple weeks just to get,
I think it depends on Bryce Young's injury, but someone was saying Bryce Young might be out for a while.
I just saw 1 to 2 weeks, but
saw someone on Twitter say that he's gonna be out a while. But man, that fucking
some time.
That Panthers offensive line sucks too, dude. They can't fucking run the ball for shit, and when you have a young quarterback, you have to be able to run the ball to take pressure off them, and they can't do that. So, having Andy Dalton out there, a veteran, like obviously Andy Dalton isn't gonna fucking like win you a ton of ball games by any stretch of the imagination, but he's still a reliable backup quarterback. And we're gonna talk about backup quarterback soon because there's a team that needs a good backup quarterback that doesn't have one, but he's still able to keep you in the ball game, right? And I think that's important. Carolina, they do have a pretty good defense. I know the score didn't really show it today, but Seattle, they turned the ship around. Carolina, I think they're going to be really bad this year. I just think, and they don't have their first round pick, which sucks even more. So shout out to Carolina fans.
Yeah. Kenneth Walker looked good today.
Yeah, he did. I mean, the Seahawks look good the last 2 weeks, dude. They've looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
First week didn't look good. Last 2 weeks looked really good. I know a lot of people were on the Panthers this week thinking that, Seahawks were somewhere in the middle of the game 1 and game 2, but I don't know, man. They look good.
Oh, the Lions. That's who their other one was. Okay.
Yep. Moving on to the Lions. Falcons. Lions closed 3-point favorites. Total was 47.5. Game went way under, 20-6, and the Lions covered. What do you guys think about either of these two teams in this game?
Man, talk about bad O-line. Desmond Ridder hit the ground hard a lot today. 7 sacks for 62 yards. That was the number that popped out for me there. When you have 201 total yards, but your team total is 139 for that's difficult.
Yep. It's crazy because Falcons look so good the first 2 weeks, man. Like, we're able to run the ball, play decent defense, but man, Desmond Ridder, he sucks, bro. He's not a good quarterback.
Yep.
Falcons got to find a quarterback, and the problem is that they're not going to be bad enough to draft a good quarterback, so they're going to have to really find I'm not even lying, dude. They're probably going to end up with Bo Nix next year. That's going to be their starter.
I mean, they couldn't get Bijan Robinson into the game. They couldn't get. I mean, I guess Kyle Pitts was in the game.
I'd rather have Justin Fields than Bo Nix.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah.
Here's a fun fact. A lot of people that watch a lot of college football will know this. Bo Nix' first start as a true freshman, they played the Oregon Ducks. And guess who was the starting quarterback for the Oregon Ducks?
Justin Herbert.
And guess who's in their 4th year in the NFL?
Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Bo Nix is one of him and Michael Penix are the last of the COVID year guys.
It's super seniors for a reason. I would tell NFL team proceed with caution. Now, I have a lot more faith in Penix being a good pro than Bo Nix, but we'll see.
I think they're both similar, dude, in the fact that they both throw to wide open guys. They don't really They're not really 3-read guys. They're more like 1 or 2 read guys.
Yeah, when the tough gets going, all you gotta do is watch the Utah game last year for Bo Nix, even though he was kind of hobbled with ankle injury, but she was still out there. I'm one. If you're healthy, playing, I don't know. I can't give you too much of an injury doubt unless you like Caleb Williams, where your damn hamstring is complete, well, not torn, but definitely pulled like a motherfucker, and you out there thugging it out. But watch Bo Nix versus Georgia, watch Bo Nix versus Utah,
Yep.
and tell me what you think about him, because those teams have NFL talent. NFL ran like NFL defenses, and he struggled mightily against both those teams. Now, Penix, when you turn on that Texas tape, he struggled against better athletes.
Yep.
I can't remember. I gotta really dig into another game where I really watched him. He like didn't look the way he looked now, but go watch that Texas game.
The UCLA game also.
Yeah, UCLA game. He didn't look too good.
But yeah, I agree. Like, I'm watching that Cal game on Saturday. Fucking Cal, dude. Holy shit. Like, Michael Penix Jr. just throwing the wide open dudes, bro. Like, it's not even like there's like no defenders within like 5 yards of his receivers. It's like I could make those throws. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Michael Penix Jr., but we could have all been back there making those throws. That's how bad it was. That's how wide open these dudes were. But anyways, back to this game. Falcons. Ritter's not him, dude.
Nope.
The Falcons they're lucky they play in a dog shit division. Because that's their only hope. And like they have all these skill players, dude. Kyle Pitts, generational talent, Drake London. Like they don't even have a quarterback to get them the fucking ball, dude. Like, trust me, I got Drake London on my fucking fantasy team, bro. This dude, like, fucking 3 points every week, dude. Like,
it's crazy too because the O line isn't bad. They got three damn good running. But yeah, they got three good running backs. I don't know if the other dude's still there.
No, just two now.
Okay.
Bijan and Algier.
Okay, so they lost the other one. But all the Falcons need is a quarterback, bro.
Yep.
They got pieces on defense. The defense isn't bad. They just tired because the offense can't sustain drives
at all, dude.
Bro, if they get a quarterback, watch out for the Falcons, bro.
Yeah, I mean that's why a lot of people pick the Falcons this year is because like they have a team.
Yeah, imagine if Caleb Williams go to the Falcons.
There's no chance they're gonna be able to get him though.
No.
Yeah.
They'd have to trade everything, and like for a team that good, you might as well. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a deep quarterback draft. I mean, I think you're gonna be able to find like a.
Yeah, it's gonna be real deep because you got Penix, you got somebody might take Bo Nix in the first round. That would be crazy if you asking me. But you got Penix, you got Drake May, you got Caleb Williams, you got the kid from you got Coastal Carolina. He's an NFL talent.
Grayson McCall.
He's costing himself some money though. He better get his shit together.
That team sucks though, dude.
The kid from Ohio, he's an NFL QB.
Kenny O'Rourke.
Yeah, Rourke. I even like the kid from Hawaii. He got NFL talent too.
Schrader.
Schrader got to reel it in some though because he be doing some wild ass shit sometimes. Quinn Ewers is definitely gonna get drafted just based on his arm talent. Yep. Somebody's definitely drafting him.
Same with Rattler.
Rattler, his arm talent to get him drafted. Yes, this quarterback draft is pretty deep, about 10, 15 deep, a guy that could go within the first.
Michael Pratt,
yeah, he's nice. That's the dude from Tulane, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
What about Ugalele?
Nah.
Is he gonna be next year?
He's
not even that good enough.
He might be like a 4th or 5th round pick.
Okay,
he'll be a project. Somebody will probably take a chance on him. Cam Ward, I don't know if he's gonna stay another year. He could be a wild card. This is gonna be a deep ass quarterback draft.
Yeah, there's a lot of good quarterback talent.
Yeah, his name is skipping my mind. Jaden Daniels. He looks like he go from a 1st round pick to undrafted free agent, play to play.
Yeah, so it's true.
You definitely gonna look at a guy like that. So
you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, this quarterback class like 15, 20 deep with talent.
I mean, think like a dude like Daquan Finn from Toledo is interesting.
From Toledo, Harris from fucking
UTSA.
Yeah, it's a lot of quarterbacks in this fucking draft. If they all come out, yeah, this might break the record for most quarterbacks drafted in one draft.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good quarterbacks, man, and That's why I'm saying, like, a team like the Falcons, like, you know, they're not going to be bad enough to draft, like, one of the top ones, but, like, dude, they might be able to hit on, like, a fucking Kenny O'Rourke in the fucking 3rd or 4th round, you know what I mean? And, like, maybe he pans out. And I just think there's going to be, like, one of those quarterbacks is going to be a fucking dark horse, dude. Like, one of those quarterbacks is going to be like Russell Wilson, where he gets drafted in the 3rd round and balls out.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting, man. And there's a lot of fucking teams in the NFL that need quarterbacks, dude.
Shit, my team might need a quarterback after this year because we got that Walmart money. We'll eat that Russell Wilson contract.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I wouldn't even be shocked if fucking if what's his name starting soon, Stidham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they paid him to be the highest backup.
Yeah, because what's the name? Peyton really likes him.
Yep.
What about Stidham not getting a shot today when they're down by 50? Is that just Russ saying I'm your QB?
That's probably more of Sean Payton keeping the starters out there to teach them a fucking lesson.
Agreed. Agreed.
If you don't, as an NFL team, as a hockey, any professional sport, you don't go out there and get beat by fucking 50.
Bro, Peyton
That's
was
like
heated.
that's like losing by like 12-2 in hockey or 21-20, like the Angels game versus the Rockies this year. What, 24-2, some shit like that.
It was like 24-2 or 24-5 or something like that.
Yeah, you don't go out and get embarrassed like that as a professional athlete. Shit, Garrett Bowles was so hurt he was crying after the game.
Yeah, dude, that was tough to listen to, man. He's like,
in all his years of playing football, he ain't never felt this way after a game. Win, lose, or draw.
it's crazy. All right, let's move on to the Buffalo game. Bills at Commies. Bills closed 5-point favorites. This line opened 6.5, got bet down to 5. Bills cover every number, opening, closing. Total was 44.5. It goes under, even though the Bills scored 37 because the Commies only scored 3. Just a comical game for the fucking Commanders, dude. Sam Howell looked like shit. And Sam Howell's a guy that I like, man, but dude, 19 of 29 for 4 interceptions is not gonna cut it.
Yeah, 9 sacks.
My biggest question to you guys, though, are the Bills back? Back-to-back blowout dubs.
I don't necessarily think that it's the Bills are back. I mean, you look at the first 3 quarters and it's, 16 points out of those 37. Fourth quarter was 21 points. So, and that's really just Washington, I want to say, giving up there. If you put the Bills up against a top level team, that's where I think you're going to, we're really going to see if the Bills are back. And, until they do that, maybe next week against Miami, that's when we'll see if the Bills are back here. Opening line on that too, Buffalo -2.5.
-2.5, huh?
Yeah.
For who? So against Miami?
Against Miami, yeah.
In Buffalo,
yeah. Over under 53.5 there. So, I mean, definitely a huge day for the defense. I think they got a defensive touchdown too, if I'm not mistaken, pick 6. But they're still a good team. I don't know if I'd say that they're all the way back. Josh Allen still 20 for 32.
What do you think, Irv?
Yeah, it's the Bills, ultimate wild card. They have top to bottom one of the best rosters in the NFL. When he's locked in and playing the game the way he's supposed to, they have a top 2 or 3 quarterback in the NFL. They just got to put things together. And I know they sick and tired of being that team that's good enough to win it all and can't win it. But shit, Miami is looking like a damn juggernaut right now.
Yep.
And they're doing all this without their best pass rusher. I think they're missing a starting lineman as well. So they're not even at 100% and they're clicking like this. So that game is going to tell us a lot. Yep. I think a lot of points is going to be scored, honestly.
Over under is set at 53.5.
Yeah, I think that goes over for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a crazy fucking total.
That total be at like 55, 58, honestly.
I like the under.
I was going to say, is this going to be a majorly defensive game?
Well, also like division rival, like division opponent unders are like fucking just cash cows, dude.
Mhm.
Just blindly bet them, and they almost always hit. I mean, I think the Bills are a good team, dude. Obviously, but if Josh Allen has to go back to that 2021 Josh Allen for the Bills to succeed, dude. Like if that Josh Allen is there, I think the Bills have a great opportunity to make a good playoff run. If that Josh Allen that played on that Monday Night Football game against the Jets, if that's the
First
Josh
one
Allen we're
exit.
gonna get, fucking Bills are gonna suck, dude.
Mhm.
And maybe, just maybe, like we look at the commies, dude, and they were 2-0, right? They should have lost to the Cardinals, and then they beat a fucking bad Broncos team. Like let's keep it a buck, right? So maybe the commies aren't as. I don't think any of us thought they were like a great team, but I don't think the commies are that good. So when we're looking at the Bills, right, they beat a bad Raiders team at home, blew them out, and they beat a bad Commanders team. So I think you guys are right in the fact that this next week against the Dolphins, I think is going to tell us who the Bills are for sure.
And who the Dolphins are as well.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at the Commanders too, like they're still going to be, I mean, they could still push for that second place in that division and possibly a wild card team because they're, they've got 2 against the Giants. We don't know what the Eagles are. They've got the Bears.
They're clearly behind the Eagles. It's not even close. Once the Eagles O-line gets healthy, I think you're going to see a totally different team.
How long is it going to be till the O-line gets healthy?
Well, they need their left tackle back, and I think they're missing their left guard or their right guard. So
Yep. You've got 2 against the Cowboys, which they always play the Cowboys hard. You've got the Jets. You've got the Rams at the end of the year, which, they're going to slow down because they're an older team. You got the Seahawks and the Patriots, like the Falcons and the Bears. Like this team can still get second in the division.
I don't see them being that good. These first 3 games, I haven't seen anything that would make me think they could beat the Eagles or the Cowboys.
Who?
The Commanders.
Yeah, I mean,
It's too inconsistent. One game,
yeah,
the offense is clicking on all cylinders. Then the defense can't stop a nosebleed.
I agree.
Today, the offense couldn't do shit or the defense couldn't do shit. So, and the Eagles and the Cowboys are clearly the lead dog in that division. I know Washington has potential. They got a great play caller. Shit, he should be their head coach, Ron Rivera. I don't see how he still has a job, but
yeah,
I don't think they're ready for the Cowboys or the Eagles.
that was gonna be my next coach to get fired.
Yeah.
But starting 2-0, I think gave him a little bit of leeway. But yeah, if they kind of crumble here in the next few weeks, dude, like, Commanders have new ownership, obviously, so they didn't hire Ron Rivera, so I could definitely see them moving on from him.
Yeah.
All right,
the Eagles next week, but then they got the Bears and the Falcons, and then the Giants. So
I definitely